Hello and welcome to this video. Now, this be short and sweet. This is the kinetic blast or bolt. Kinetic bolt. Keep getting those two mixed up. Kinetic bolt build. Now, the interesting part is the tech is interesting because you're using the shield, the indigo, you're using a new rune. Where'd I put it? Put it in here. So we got mana sustain through that. I am only level 75, but we'll get to why that's sort of important. We're using this to reduce attributes, which is a big help. This isn't a budget build or anything. To build this properly, you need multiple mirrors. I was going to do a more or less budgeted version, see where I could get it. And yeah. Even though the skill has, and I tweaked some things and actually increased damage, and if everything's kicking off and you get the right gear, you can actually get it to like 200 plus mil DPS. And I just don't care. Like, it's boring. Now, it's my opinion on this skill, on this everything. And yeah, a lot of the build guides and everything go, oh, I got 40,000 evasion, I got 87% chance to evade. Yeah, that rest of the time, you're dead if you get hit. Now there is the mind over mana, it's taken some from there. We'll run this T16, should be normal. Yeah, whatever. We have enough DPS to do this. The POB DPS is a bit weird because I'm not using the temporal chains tech thing and all that yet. You're meant to have a cast fire burst on your wand and do your temporal chain stuff through there. Else it just depletes it if you run the Forbidden Rite style, running the coiling wisp. But yeah, we got just Chaos Rings making up the Chaos Res for 41%. But yeah, we'll run a map. I'll show you, but yeah, if that wasn't too loud. But yeah, in my opinion, one, it is not good enough for the amount of currency you got to spend just to get to this point. I spent, if you're minus the flask, I didn't have to buy the flask. I chose to buy the flask. You can run a normal belt with as much intelligence. You're pretty good mana regen, so you don't need that. High intelligence, res, anything you want like that sort of belt. You can just run that sort of belt if you want. But yeah, I've spent 12 to 15 div already to get to this point with the gems and the gear. And I've had other builds that can go kill Shaper with that. This build can't. Like, it looks cool, and we're dead. Yeah. Evade is only good as long as you don't get hit. And yeah, I don't even want to go back in. And I'd rather sell this Frostblink than do that map and play this character. Now you might have a different opinion. You might like this build. You might like playing high evade and don't get hit sort of style. But yeah, the DPS you can get to, I tweaked it and everything. It's better than what some of the people that obviously don't know anything about how things work have done it, because I have seen some things where I'm not exactly sure, because when I copied them in the POB, they had a cluster here. They had mana and energy shield, or mana and like different builds, but they had, say, let's say mana and energy shield here on a split personality. Split personality, if you don't know, is the amount of nodes from your starting point to there gives you 5 to whatever stats you got going along each time. They had like some crazy number that I'm not even sure how they got, because it's not possible. But they had just a normal Abyss Jewel up here, not the split personality, which gives you more points because you travel further and you end up getting more buffs and everything. So unfortunately, this league, it's content creators are creating mirror tier builds as just general guides, when I proved in my last video they didn't need to, they just did it because it looks cool. 2, you got people buying currency. 1, to try to copy the thing, and 2, because it's easier than earning the currency themselves. They just buy a character, they buy currency, make a build, make content. They don't really care if it works properly or not. They're just there for the clicks. But yeah, let me know what you think about Kinetic Bolt, anything like this. That, did you not just ask me for it? Well, this guy asked me first. I think some people are trying to make people take stuff out of the stash so it like loses their place. Because I've had a few, and not necessary for gems, but other gear. Whoops. And that as soon as I accept, they then go offline. And then someone else, they come back, that same thing. And I don't take it out of my stash until they accept that. And as soon as I take it out of the stash, and they obviously refresh the thing because it disconnects the PoE trade thing because you've taken it out of your stash, they then go offline. Put it back in, put it on price, someone else messed me, same thing. So I think there's some dodgy stuff going on with the trade and everything, which obviously is something completely unrelated, but that just reminded me of some of the nonsense going on in this league. But yeah, let me know what you think. I don't like it. I don't care that it can get to 200 million DPS if you do it right. The fact that they're not doing it right is why some of the builds only go to like 40, 50 million DPS at full tilt. You're not going to get all that without all the tech kicking off all at the same time and everything. But without any merc buff, you can get to like 200 million DPS with this build if you invest in and do it properly. Like, what gem did I have to... This, I'm not level 84, so I can't have a Awaken Ellie damage. So there's one upgrade you can do. But yeah, I worked out on a POB, do all this, and obviously other things. By the time you reach level 90, 95, you're kicking up to like 200 mil DPS if you can get it to trigger all at the same time. But yeah, I don't recommend this build. It's a POB glossy build. If you got the mirror, like, you're gonna have to spend hundreds of divs to actually make this thing work. To get the high-end gear or craft the gear is gonna cost you probably 100. If you just buy it all, it's probably gonna cost you a couple of hundred. minimum. It is very much a POB, looks cool build. Because they all got the configs in, doing all this, all that. We have rage on hit from the gloves. They've all got it at 30 rage. They've all got the coiling wisp thing kicking off at full tilt. And yet it just doesn't happen that way. Yeah. But let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next video. I don't know what it will be, because I'm done with this character. This character's annoying. This character's boring. This character dies all the time. So yeah. It won't be a ranger, I'll tell you that. Unless someone comes back and finds some like defensive tank that costs hardly anything, like 10 divines, and we can go farm shaper with it. Because that's my bar. My blood sacrament, after about 10 divines, could go farm shaper, and we could get currency whenever we want. The Forbidden Rite, it cost me 30 or 40 div. We got it doing Shaper, we got it doing Maven, we got it doing whatever we want. Up until T17 bosses, we aren't quite defensive enough to tank them, but we can clear T17 normal area easily. And that was on a budget compared to the 6, 7, 800 div builds that people were showing. This, for what I've spent, is... I'd be upset if this was a league start character I've spent 10 div on, and this is where I got. I'd want to level up a whole nother character. But yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you next time, and goodbye.